Welcome back. I know we have kind of filled our heads with all this beautiful Christmas cheer, the sparkling lights, the beautiful sunshine. But what if we take our festive cheer a little too far? Now, the warmer days are already here. We've felt it. Keeping active and participating in outdoor activities is essential. We know we've got to move, but the hydration then becomes more important than ever. And it's about more than just drinking water. Summer heat and activities can quickly deplete those essential electrolytes, which are key to keeping you energized and feeding our best, to keeping us moisturized from the inside out. But here to guide us through why hydration is so crucial, especially during the hottest months of the year, is the lovely Jackie Myman. Jack's great to have you here. I suppose this is the algorithm of your life of like, just don't be stupid, okay? You're in the sun, drink the water. But it's not often as simple as that, because the dehydration, it's not a case of just getting water in. Talk me through electrolytes. It doesn't sound like it should be something that exists in a human body, but rather on a scale electrics track. What are electrolytes? Take us inside the greatest mystery.
Okay, so we all know how important water is. Okay, our bodies are anything between 50 to 75% water.
Sure.
It cushions our brain, it lubricates our eyes, it allows our lungs to process oxygen and carbon dioxide. But what we forget is that it's not water alone. So we also need electrolytes. So these are basically positively and negatively charged ions, if you want to look at the science of it.
Love it.
But it's potassium, sodium, magnesium, chloride, bicarbonate. It keeps our bodies balanced in terms of acid and base. It allows our nerves, your brain to function, so your neurotransmitters, yes. So when the weather gets really, really hot and we perspire, because half of what keeps us going is the ability of hydrating ourselves to maintain our body temperature.
So that we can cool ourselves off
so
with our radiator,
Yes, so when it gets hot, we perspire a lot more. Or maybe men just sweat. You know, us ladies, we only perspire.
You glow.
We glow. Yes. And when we sweat, we lose salts, okay? So putting water back in is not sufficient. We start losing those salts, and then we can't even absorb the water properly. So electrolytes are incredibly important.
Water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. That's a little bit terrifying, because when it hits, I've experienced heat stroke, I know too, yes, when you take it as far as that. But you don't have to go quite to that extreme for the dehydration to start to have an effect. What are the warning signs then? What should we notice within ourselves, especially our kids, that they might be underhydrated?
Okay. So there are some very subtle signs. And important to note, a lot of people think, when I'm thirsty, I must drink water. It's too late by the time you're thirsty. We need to look for more subtle signs. So there are things like, for instance, chapped lips, constipation, dark urine, headaches. All of those are signs that we're not drinking enough water. Obviously, in a baby, and it's interesting, Graham, babies are more than 75% water. As we get older, our bodies are made up of less water.
Oh,
but
wow.
Babies are basically water, because it's to protect them.
So they need to cry it out. They've got
so it's incredibly important to keep them hydrated. They get dehydrated very easily. And in a baby, you get the depressed fontanelle. Sometimes if they are getting really dehydrated, when they cry, they don't have tears.
They don't actually,
anymore.
and I made a joke about it now. How bad do I feel? Hey, what kind of person does that?
Dry mouth is another one, and bad breath sometimes is insufficient fluids.
And I'm so glad that you pointed this out or singled this out, because often we'll feed our little ones their milk or their formula, but we don't think about topping up on the water, as simple as that is, and building that kind of relationship with water. I love that. There has been a bug flying around. Nobody has been safe. And it's gone through schools, through relatives. Somehow I've dodged a bullet, but it's always the go-to when I go to my pharmacy. I love you, Ian. Electrolytes, electrolytes, electrolytes. Why is it so important to put that back? What's going on in our system when we get heavy diarrhea, when we go through that kind of process, and we need the electrolytes so badly?
100%. So as the temperatures go up, we are more susceptible to bugs from gastroenteritis. Food goes off more quickly. There's more bacteria around. So this is the season where you're going to get the diarrhea and the vomiting. Now, when you sweat, you lose salts. When you're vomiting and have got diarrhea, you are losing huge quantities of your electrolytes. You become dehydrated very quickly. You can imagine, you're
From the
drinking
main
something,
action centre
you're
as
drinking
well,
something
yeah.
and it's going zhoops, straight
Cheers,
out
yeah,
again.
yeah, yeah.
So incredibly important if you've got vomiting and diarrhea to take a rehydrating solution.
For sure.
And it's best to get ones that are already made, because you can make one at home yourself with salt and a little bit of sugar and boiled and cooled water.
Oh, wow, okay.
But that only has sodium chloride. Whereas the ones that you can purchase have got potassium, they've got bicarbonate, and they've got glucose, which is incredibly important.
Now I'm understanding why with sports drinks in particular, we put back in what we take out. So it's almost would seem incumbent then that we drink these drinks that have a high load, whether it's the energy load or the electrolytes, put it in afterwards when your body's been depleted of that.
Important what you're saying there, because it's not just vomiting, diarrhea, and heat, but exercise. A lot of us forget to rehydrate when we exercise. And just one warning, be careful of too many sports drinks, because they've got a lot of sugar in it. They do have electrolytes,
Yeah, but there's a whole lot of other
it's better
stuff.
to have water and a rehydrating solution that you reconstitute.
And in this lane specifically, because we do need to put back in, and it's not as simple as 8 cups of water. Absolutely love that. And something that I lean on more than my pharmacists, or maybe no, that's a lie, but almost as often as, certainly as a parent, when we dive into all of these summer activities, the heat and the dehydration are going to become much more of a dominant factor. And of course, with Rehydrate, I think a name that we all absolutely know and trust, you can support that faster recovery in your system, rehydrating better than water alone to keep you at your best, whether that's recovering from gastroenteritis or diarrhea, or just kind of rehydrating your body when you've taken out a little more than you put in earlier today. I love that, and the range there gets quite specific for what you need. So whether that's before, during, or after a race or just a busy day, Rehydrate. Jackie, thank you.
Thanks very much. Cheers.